Okay, so these are the two different Turn Edition sticks. The only difference between the round 2 is that it's identical to this one, the original TE, except it's got a different color. And there's some limited edition ones too. They're all the same. Now this is the PS3 black colored one, and the only difference between these two sticks is the side here. Notice it doesn't have that white side on there, so it's a little thinner, and there's no bezel. So there's a bezel here, and it cuts off the picture, but on this one it's just a nice flat panel in there, and that's pretty much the only difference. The S versions of the TE sticks, there's a lock switch. And basically what it does is, when you turn the lock switch on, it makes it so you can't accidentally hit your Xbox button. And so if you hit your Xbox button, nothing will happen. And that's really good when you're playing a match and your scrubs are mashing it up and you hit the Xbox button. But with the PS3 stick, with the S version sticks, something that I did notice there's a difference is when you hit the lock button on the S versions, it also locks the pause button as well. The T's don't do that. The parts, everything inside, the guts of it is completely identical. If I were to choose which stick I wanted, if I were to choose one, I would pick the original TE stick just because it's wider. And it just fits a little bit better on my lap because I'm a lap player. So, but honestly, just get whatever is cheaper. If they're all the same price, get the new S stick so you can show it off to your friends. There's no difference between it, so don't even worry about it. Now the Catz joystick has a bunch of little features I'm just going to tell you, just so you know. You can search any YouTube video. There's a lot more information, but it's got a cord holder, but I'm too lazy to put it back in. And the front, it opens up, and you can stuff in your cord, so it's more compact. The buttons are very sensitive. If you used to go to arcade, the buttons are different. These are actually convex buttons, which means that the top part of the buttons are facing out, whereas in a traditional American arcade they'd be concave, where the buttons they're slanted inwards, and like when you're mashing the buttons it really hurts your hands, kind of like that. So these are the Japanese parts, don't forget Sanwa. And the joystick is a lot different than an American arcade joystick. This is the biggest news, so make sure you guys know this, because this is going to annoy you guys when you guys are trying to learn how to use a joystick. It's a ball top, so one sec. So as you can see, it's a ball top joystick. It's not a flat bat. It's very low to the joystick. And the gate inside, so when I take the joystick and I hold it in the corners and I just rotate it, it's a square. It's not an octagon. So keep that in mind too. So it's very sensitive. So I'll give you an example. As soon as you hear the click, I'm going to move the joystick forward, okay? And as soon as you hear the click noise, that's when it registers you as walking forward. So just listen really carefully. Heard that? Look, that's very, very sensitive. And here's down. And here's me pushing it all the way down. Okay? So very sensitive. And it's going to take some time for you guys to get used to. But at the same time, it's very precise. And you get all the top players in the world all use these specific sticks. They all use the Catz Turn Edition sticks. So you don't have to worry there. Top players like Justin Wong or Daigo Umehara, they all use this stick. And it's very easy to purchase. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it on the Catz site, and you can get it from Capcom. I'm not sure on the current price of it right now, but it'll set you a little bit over $1, so keep that in mind. So before you even think about buying a joystick, you have to ask yourself, is it worth the commitment? Because you're going to have to commit in order to justify paying for a joystick, because like I said, it's not going to magically make you a better player. Now, I didn't mention the advantages of a joystick, and basically the advantages of a joystick are much more precise. You have a lot more control over exactly what you want to do. It's not like a crappy D-pad. The buttons are all accessible. They're all lined up in front of you. So you have access to everything. By the way, these buttons on the far right could be 3 punches or 3 kicks. Keep that in mind. Also, the controller has a built-in turbo setting. You can turbo any of these buttons. Though turbo is illegal in tournaments. Keep that in mind. And but I know you Bison players will love that turbo short kick button. It's all the rage. There are a few things that only a joystick can do, and there's these techniques called double tapping, plinking, sliding, pianoing, and I guess super jump canceling would be something that would be really hard to do on a controller. But all these techniques I'm going to go over in separate tutorials, and all these techniques make it much easier to do the hardest combos in the game, pretty much, to summarize. They make everything easier, and basically it gives you an advantage if you can master using the joystick. How long does it take to use a joystick? Don't know. I've been using a joystick for 10 years, so I couldn't say. But I'm going to link you to a really good thread, and it's going to basically help you learn how to use a joystick. And I'm not sure if I'm going to make a tutorial on how to use a joystick. That'd be kind of awkward, but we'll see. Like I said, if there's anything in this tutorial that I didn't cover well enough, or if there's any questions, PM me up. I can make a separate video if I miss something. And yeah, that concludes the end of this tutorial on joysticks versus controller.